Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's live session of Let's Talk About Market. So we are finally seeing some decisive move about 25,000. One thing that still needs to be seen is that whether this gain sustains or no. But a lot of interesting setup is now being witnessed in the Nifty index and across indices as well. So let's talk about it and let's see what are the interesting developments that we are seeing. So let me quickly share my screen and someone can please let me know once they're able to see the screen properly, and more importantly once they're able to hear me properly. Let me also get the mic nearby. Okay, so can you are you able to hear me properly? Oh, okay, thanks Rohan. So coming to the Nifty index first. So we are seeing some good development in the Nifty index, especially. Uh, I've been talking about this falling. Just a minute. Just a minute. There is someone from my team calling. Hi, sorry. So yes, let's get started. So for the Nifty index, basically we were talking about this. This was the trend line to watch out for. Yesterday it closed marginally above this trend line. Okay, but now today we are finally seeing some decisive move. So as I had mentioned to you earlier as well, uh, this is an important resistance zone. Okay, so we need to basically clear this from a medium term perspective to be very sure of an up move. But breaking out from this trend line gives us that indication that sooner or later that should happen. Now, what is the possible path that we may see in the near term? So my guess is that maybe in this up move we probably go now. Please understand that we are trying to fine tune it. Okay, uh, if at all I say there is a chance of some correction or some consolidation, that doesn't mean that we are going to collapse. But please bear in mind that this is one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and this is the 8th day of up move. So at some point of time, we are going to get a pullback. Okay. So my best guess is that what might happen is Nifty might rally till here, maybe somewhere around this zone, and after that, we either see some consolidation or we see a price action correction till the trend line where it will retest the breakout, and maybe then it rises higher. Now the reason why I'm thinking that is because when you see the swing and average swing, okay, they are both around. If I put a template over here, you can see that they are both around the 80 level. The swing is at 75 and this is at 78. So what I'm expecting is that when the Nifty goes over here, probably the swing hits above the 80 mark or maybe even go to the 90 mark over there, and that's where it might lead to some cool off or correction in the near term, and that is what the expectation is. But I think broadly the stage is now set for a big move. The other data point that supports that is if you see the FII's positioning. Okay, and we have been talking about this short covering rally that can take place, right? So just go to the index future, click this data, and you will see that in last three trading sessions they have started to cover shorts. Okay, and especially in the last 3 days they are not adding much short, but they were adding long, and in yesterday's trading session they covered some short and added some long. Okay, typically you can end up even seeing 20, 20, 30, 30,000 contracts unwinding in a day, so I won't be surprised to see that. The only confirmation point I think would come when this breakout will occur, but please keep in mind, something like this could be possible. So don't get extremely carried away, because see, the whole point is to try to catch trend reversal early. Okay, try to ride it, and then when the time comes you also need to book out. So you need to be very agile if you are trying to trade very, I mean, you are trying to trade short term trends as well. So over here, while we are doing this live stream, there are all kind of people. So that is why I'm trying to make it very clear. I think from a medium term perspective, an up move will occur. I frankly have no doubt about that. In fact, even when we were correcting here, the idea was that the medium term outlook looks super bullish. The only thing that I was not sure about is that whether we will correct till here and then go up, or has the correction been done and then we will be going higher. So the moment the daily RMI gave a bullish crossover, which was around here. That's where we started thinking that possibly the worst is over, and now things should start looking up. I mean, that is what we are seeing now. And if you see index by index, most of them are either breaking above the 40-day or breaking above their previous high. So, say for example, something like mid cap. Okay, so mid cap, you can see that it is trying to break above the previous high. Over here also, the 61.8% retracement will be an important mark, which is somewhere around this point, right? If we break above this, then basically what we have is a breakout above 61.8% retracement. And then and because the Nifty index has started to inch higher, so what has happened is that even the hourly RMI has started to inch higher. Okay, so a deadly combination will be Nifty breaking above this resistance zone, and the RMI also turning around and getting into buy mode. I mean, once that is there, then you are like very sure. But of course, even in price action terms, if we end up breaking 25 to 50, I think that should be a good enough indication that the worst is over, and probably we should be inching higher. Now, one place where I see opportunity is Bank Nifty. Basically, that has still not risen higher. Okay, that is still trying to turn around. We first told you this, that a positive weekly close has happened, and that is extremely important. This gives us an important low to watch out for. So now, as long as this low does not break, we should be steadily inching higher. On the daily chart, what I would like to see is break of the channel and the moving average, which is around the same point. I think once that happens, we get this additional confirmation that a breakout has occurred. In this case, also, maybe we might end up seeing something like this, that it's somewhere resist over here and then only rises higher. I mean, all those things are possible. We need to fine tune those things. Uh, and of course, I mean, these all minor moves will affect only the ones who are trading very, very short term. But from a medium term perspective, I think that the stage is set. And the other things, that you can also probably watch out for is, indicators like these. When all of them come to that 90, 100 mark and so on, then that is the time you need to be a little skeptical. Like, say for example, the percentage of stock with 20 SMA, that is still at 64. So this is I'm seeing for Nifty 500. I'm taking this as the broader basket, so that it's I mean, you get a sense of the broader what the broader indices is doing. But again, if you see, for short term, basically you would need this to go to 80, 90, you would need the percentage of RMI to go to 80-90. So these two things should happen, plus the swing, average swing, all of them should be at 80-90. That is where you need to be cautious. I mean, by cautious, what I mean is that then that's where there is a possibility of some meaningful correction and then rising higher. But yeah, I mean, that is what you need to watch out for. Now the other thing is that because uh, the Nifty index now seems to be gearing up for a move, you can do two things. Okay, if you want to check which are the stocks within Nifty 50 that are going to do well, so you can come to RRG. You can see over here daily, I mean, Adani Port, it is trying to turn around. Uh, then there are many stocks which are seeing rising momentum, Adani Enterprise. But as I mentioned, daily is for very short term. Look at weekly. Weekly will give you some very good insights. And by the way, just to let you know, on Sunday, because we had got many requests, so we are not doing insider trades, but rather we are doing RRG. Okay, so over there I'll be explaining you in depth about all the patterns that we need to watch out for, to basically find good trades. Okay, so it will probably be combination of RRG plus RMI. I think that should help you a lot in trying to find the stocks. Okay, so in Nifty 50, as you can see, so see, we have been talking about many sectors, right? In that, specifically metals is the one that is looking up. Then we spoke about auto, which is already doing well. Okay, but in this, basically, when I'm seeing, there is Cipla, Bajaj Auto, JSW Steel, these are all breaking into leading quadrant. In fact, even sorry, this is not LNT, but this is Titan. But over here in Titan, there is some momentum fall that we are seeing. So, okay, I mean, basically, I thought that it was getting into the leading quadrant, but that is not the case. It is turning around. But anywhere now, see something like Kotak Bank, you can see that it's a laggard, but it is now trying to catch up. So ones who are aggressive and who want to sort of find the laggard stocks which are going to turn up, maybe Kotak Bank, Axis Bank, these are the ones. Now this you can see across all the indices. Now we had spoken about metals, we had spoken about PSU. Okay, in fact PSU banks. So you can actually check RRG, and you can quickly try and find the stocks where you would want to focus. So this is there, in fact, even in PSU banks. So as I was mentioning to you, PSU bank is also in a range. So far it has not broken out, but this is also one index that you need to watch very carefully. Okay, so price wise it has given this breakout from a falling trend line, but I would still want to see a breakout from this zone. I think once this zone is broken, I mean, all is clear, probably towards the all time high. I mean, that path would be clear. So that is what we need to watch out for. In fact, we spoke about Nifty PSE yesterday. Even that seems to be inching higher and seeing the positive momentum continue. So there are a lot of sectors that are now trying to turn up. Please remember one thing, that the market is very, I mean, has changed dramatically, which means that we are not seeing probably follow throughs whenever the breakout occurs. So after a breakout, what happens is that it goes into a snooze mode, it consolidates, and it tests our patience. So keep in mind that if you are trying to think of something positional, make sure till the time your levels are not gone to be put with it. Because what will happen is that now, say for example, PSU is looking good, for example. Okay, it can so happen that it might go up over here and consolidate for few days, and then it will rise higher. Okay, and the problem is that in this few days you will lose your patience and you will throw it away. And when the actual movement comes, the position won't be there. Something like that happened even in CNX Auto. Okay, there was this positive bullish crossover that we got it over here as well. I thought from here it is going to go up, but again it consolidated and then only it rose higher, right? So it might test your conviction, test your patience, but make sure that if the charts are not breaking down, make sure to stick with that, okay, because that is the conviction that is going to help you, right? So so basically this is the one. And then basically we would have to switch to the scanners to find which are the best stocks to watch out for. And remember, today we are going to get a weekly close as well, right? So if I have to take it for the nifty total basket new buy, there are almost 66 stocks that are coming, and this is the one in cement. Actually, this stock had come on my radar, which was interesting because this is the only cement stock I can see that has not rallied and that has formed a very good base over here, right? So it's an interesting stock to watch out for. There is a bullish crossover that we are going to see. Uh, so yes, then there are lots of stock to watch out for. So, within this list, basically, you can focus more on metal stocks, PSU stocks, if at all you're getting, and try to see where is it that, some good patterns are occurring. But just for example, I'll once again tell you which are the setups to watch out for. Now, see, this is ideally not a good setup. That is because it is trading below the weekly averages and so on. But because it is into cement sector and cement sector overall is looking good, that's why it makes sense to look at this. Else, had it not been cement sector, maybe I wouldn't have even looked at it. But say something like, watch out for the stocks which are trading above the averages, and more importantly, who have completed the cycle and then they are trying to give a breakout. I mean, those will be the best setups to watch out for. Okay, now see, in all this case, advanced enzyme, no. Aether, no, that is because it is below the averages. Amber chart is good, but the problem is that RMI has not gone back to zero line. Okay, now see, something like this Avalon, this looks interesting. That is because there has been a fair consolidation that has happened. The RMI had almost gone back to zero. Okay, not perfectly zero, but almost gone back to zero, and now it is turning up. So now within whatever stocks that we have seen, this one has a better setup. Okay, the reason why I'm trying to discuss this is that so that you understand, how do we pick up stocks. Okay, so as I mentioned, in this Avalon looks good. Avanti feed is, wait and watch because it is almost at the averages. AWL, it has been in a downtrend, so it doesn't make sense over here. Now see, something like Bajaj Finserv, this is an this is a very good setup. Up move, consolidation, coming back to averages, and now giving a bullish crossover. Okay, Bajaj Finance, similar pattern, and it seems to be rising higher. Bata, need to wait and watch because over here, basically in price action, there is a good resistance that it is going to see over here. So, but again, an interesting setup. And also to let you know, Bata had almost hit the 2020 low recently. Okay, almost over here, and it has almost fallen, say how much percent? Probably more than 50%. So this also can be an interesting one, if you are trying to bottom fish. But yes, look out for the levels as well. Then in this okay, this RMI setup is actually good. See, we are seeing some spikes in the candle. This is something that we need to fix. Cello, no. So I think this can also be a good setup. Okay, it is respecting the averages and going higher. So yes, look out for those sectors. Okay, especially when the RMI is coming back to zero. So from the things that we spoken so far, I think this is Acme Solar. That is no, not Acme Solar. It was Avalon. Avalon, that seems interesting. Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finserv, those are looking good. So basically, that is how you try and you can scan out the stocks. The other ones, if you want to basically bottom fish, what you can also do is that go to NSC. Okay, say for example, go to Nifty 500 and check who are the worst performers. So, say for example, we have seen a correction from, say for example, we are taking a corrective phase from 27 till year. Okay, 27 till date. So, custom mein what I'll do is that I'll do 2024, 27 September से लेके, you can basically do it till date and see who are the worst performer. Okay, please note that some of the stocks dividend may or may not be adjusted, and see something like ABFRL and all, we need to adjust it based on the demerger. We have to think of some logic, because we are seeing different platforms, they have applied different logic. So that is the issue, but we are looking into this. Okay, so you can see that there are many other stocks like HW Solar, HFCL. Even in Siemens there was there was a demerger. But see, these are all the stocks which have been worst hit. Okay, now you can try and see if there are any opportunities that arises over here. As I mentioned to you, I mean, this is for all those guys who are trying to bottom fish, okay, and who are trying to catch which are the things that can turn around, and maybe where you might have those conviction. I mean, this is one good way of seeing it. But as I mentioned, I am frankly not a fan of it. But in case if you are, those guys who want to bottom fish and so on, maybe this is also one technique that you can try and see whether it suits you or no. And you know what you can simply do is that you can keep the stocks, study a bit, because they have fallen. You have to be very careful, right? There might be some reason due to which they have fallen so much, because in this entire period, say Nifty 500 has gone down 5%, right? But in the same period, you can see that so many stocks have beaten down 50-60%. And in fact, it is very surprising to know PSU banks comes in the list, and that is with a positive 3%, right? This is frankly surprising. I did not notice this, but this tells you that which have been the sectors that have held out. See, we spoke about metals also, it hold out during this phase. Auto held out during this phase. So it's interesting. I mean, you can also, as I have mentioned earlier as well, you can do this custom date. In fact, you want to see which are the stocks that have done well from year to year. Even that is possible. So say 30th June, let's do that. I think we should get some interesting result. 2025 June. So let me do, okay, wait. Okay, let me make it 30th June to, wait. Let me refresh the screen. 30th June till current date. Okay, we should get some interesting result, I would believe. Even I had not done this check, but auto is outperformer. MNC, okay, MNC is something that has done well. It's interesting to see which are the ones. Ashok Leyland, Unilever, Escort. So over here also mainly all the auto stocks. Cummins in the one which is the thing, but FMCG, metals, pharma. Pharma is also something actually that is looking up. I had spoken about this, right? Even if I'm not wrong, the RRG of pharma is also good, because when you do it weekly, if I'm not wrong, okay, over here actually the momentum is falling. While I was tracking this, it was going into improving to leading, but we are seeing some fall in the momentum. So this is not a good sign. But what is it doing on daily? So daily it has been inching higher. So need to see again. Let's check the chart of Nifty Pharma. because over there also we saw many stocks that are turning up, right? Okay, it is possibly breaking its previous high. Let me check the retracement. So 61.8% retracement, that is like a Lakshman Rekha for Nifty Pharma. I think once that breaks on the upside, then you should see positive momentum over there as well. And this can again be an interesting index because you can see that it is holding out the averages. So so let's keep this also on the radar in case if I miss it. Y'all can keep reminding me about this. Okay. So yeah, basically, you can scan through the heat map as well. I think heat map will be very very effective way to find your gainers. I mean, find the stocks which are strong very easily. So with that, maybe I'm done. You can tell me what are the things that you are facing any issue or anything that you want to know. Power grid. I think we discussed today, right? I mean, yesterday. It was forming a triangle. I don't know if it has broken out from that. Okay, so yesterday it has broken out from this triangular structure because what we were talking of was on the hourly chart. It has broken the triangle. So looks an interesting setup. Ideally, if this triangle is true and genuine, then this low should not be broken. So yeah, and also there is an inverse HNS pattern that is developing, right? So I think about this high that we see, it should get interesting. Let's see how it plays out. Hero Moto, we had checked it. I think it was rising higher. See, it is in an uptrend. There was some bit of break of 40, but it seems to be rising higher. Uh, so yeah, I think see in Hero Moto, as long as the 20 does not break, it is in a super bullish mode. Basically, what might happen is that there will be pullbacks from time to time. Uh, like say you see over here, right? Uh, there will be pullbacks from time to time, but ideally, if the 20-day does not break, ignore the RMI when the 20-day is holding out. Okay. If the 20-day holds, it will keep bouncing back and it will keep rising higher. So far, there are no signs of 20-day breaking. So, that can be the level to watch. What about HAL? HAL also, I think we spoke about it yesterday. There is a nice base and it is now trying to break out from that, right? And even I think the weekly 40 has held and it is trying to rise higher. This can again be an interesting setup to watch out for. Hinzing, Hinzing, Hinzing. Okay, there is a bullish crossover over here, and the 40-week is breaking. So yes, again an interesting setup. Also, silver has been rising higher, so that is a good thing for Hinzing. So yes, I think someone had talked about it, and that's where I was saying probably that this is the zone to watch out for. Uh, we had briefly spoken about this. So this is the resistance zone for Hinzing, right? And it is now trying to break out. Basically, if it breaks out from this zone, what will happen is that the weekly averages will break on the upside. There is a bullish crossover, and the price action reversal also happens. So yes, it can be a good setup. Worth keeping on the radar. While I select delta, is there an issue or we need to change any setting? Wait, Baburaj, let me check it. Delta. So what you're saying is that let me just try check it once again. In option chain page, put data is not coming while I select delta. Let me check it. If I go to options, option chain, so you can see the delta over here, right? And even if I go to delta page, so you can see delta across the expiry. Where is it that you're facing issue? Is there any specific symbol where you're facing this issue? Please let me know. You can comment it, Baburaj, if you are seeing any issue. Atul, strike run slow. So see, understand one thing, Atul. Actually, we are trying to optimize this as well. But if your internet is very good, you won't face this issue. If your internet is little weak, then you will face this issue. I am telling you this because I have a 100 Mbps speed, right? So it works fine with me. But if I had say 20 Mbps, 30 Mbps, then it will take some time to load. Of course, we are doing our best, to for the performance, even on when the bandwidth is low. But if your internet is good, I don't think there is issue that is coming now, at least. Hind Copper, Hind Copper, very good weekly. Hind Copper is again a metal stock. Let me check what is happening there. I did not. Yeah, yeah. This also looks good. And in fact, we look at Elliott wave. So in Elliott wave, it's a nice five-wave rise pattern. Interesting stock. Thanks for bringing on the radar. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting stock. Thanks, Mahesh, for pointing out. The right data is not coming for me. Oh, it should not happen. Let me try it for some other stock as well. Just keep in mind there is one. See, my screen is actually 24-inch. That's why I'm able to see it big. But you can click over here and you can hover. I mean, you can go on the left and right. Maybe then you will be able to see because delta and all are on the right hand side towards the corner. So you should, I mean, you should drag it towards the right. That's where you will be able to see it. Okay, so I think we are done with the questions. I hope I've answered them all. So yeah, good session for the Nifty index today so far. We need to see, of course, the gain holds or no. So main thing, just I'm highlighting it once again. Sorry for being repetitive, but I'm trying to highlight it once again so that you understand the importance of that level. Okay, so it is basically 25,150. Okay, in fact, as we have spoken, the Nifty index has already inched higher from 25,080 or so, because while we started recording, it was around those levels. But this is like a very important support resistance zone. Now, the reason why I was not seeing retracement level over here is because 61.8 comes slightly below 25,250. Okay, it is actually around this prior high. So just for the safety, I'm talking about this level as well, 25 to 50, because I remember very clearly when the up move was happening, this was the level I was pointing out that, if this does not break, it's a risk over there. It's a risk for us. So that's why, to be slightly more on the safer side, 25 to 50 is the level. And, just to give you a context to people who not know what is happening across the globe, so I have actually made one watch list also in TradingView. And if you see any and every index, they are all breaking out. Say, for example, Taiwan, it has broken out from the new high. Okay. If you see Hong Kong index, it has been inching higher steadily and it is almost on the verge of doing that. Okay. Nikkei, just to give you a context, Nikkei has, broken, I think, a 50-month, I mean, 50-year high. So I'm Japan. I I don't know where will I get that entire chart. So there is one more chart that we have it from 1990. Nikkei. Okay, so this is the one. Here they are not allowing us to give this, but this is the context. Okay, 1990 high is getting broken over here. So there are a lot of positive moves that are already happening in Asian market. In that sense, basically we are lagging, right? I think we should be catching up now. and there are surely some interesting times ahead, because I mean, this was the whole thesis now why we were bullish. The only thing that I was not sure was that in the short term what will happen, because Nifty was doing its own thing while other markets were rising higher. Nifty was continuously drifting lower, and that is where a bit of a confusion was. But if you see any index, okay, they have all made new high and they are rising higher. Okay, even Thailand index, which was in dumps, that has also seen good move. So across the market, we are seeing that bullish momentum, and even now for Nifty index, things seems to be looking up. So let's see basically, these are important things to watch out for. And as I had mentioned, 25 250, that is the zone that you need to watch out for. I think once that is broken, we should see a very very good move in the coming days, and the FI short position which are at an extreme, that should start unwinding. So I think, yeah, that's it from my side. Let's catch up on Monday. And just a reminder, on Sunday we are going to do a webinar on RRG. Okay, we will be posting it on our handle as well. It will be a Zoom session and a private session. You will be able to ask me questions as well. I mean, you can actually unmute your mic and ask the question, and we can have some good interactive session as well. So let's see. Let's meet on Sunday. It will be at 10 a.m. where I'll be covering RRG and all the tricks that you need to understand about RRG to find the stocks, which can gain momentum or lose momentum. So that's it from my side, and let's catch up on Sunday at 10 a.m. The link will be given on the Twitter handle. Okay. So thanks a lot, and see you on Sunday.